When I built up the courage to upload my first YouTube video nearly 2 years ago, I thought I knew, but I had no clue the roller coaster that it would be to start growing and to finally get monetized. The late nights, the hard work, the times feeling super discouraged because I didn't see my channel doing the things that I wanted it to do, but I stuck with it and your girl is finally monetized. So if you have a channel or you're thinking about starting, I hope this video gives you some encouragement to keep going and gives you some ideas for your own content as I spill the tea about how I've gotten to this point and how I finally got monetized. Welcome back, my friends, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Christy and I make content centered around realizing no matter where we are in life, no matter our age, we are just on time to live the life of our dreams. And one of my dreams, well, over the past couple of years, has been to grow a successful YouTube channel. I don't typically make YouTube videos about YouTube, but every time I hit a milestone, I really do like to document the journey. And it's also a way for me to be able to celebrate the milestone that has happened because growing on YouTube is freaking hard. And I want to always remember and be proud of the work that it has taken to hit certain milestones. And guys, we finally got monetized. Like, oh my goodness, it is so cool to still say that. We finally got monetized. I love and used to watch these videos all the time when I started my channel, and I still love them because you really do see that everybody's journey is so different. And I love just being able to hear the process of what is it like to start out as a creator? What are the different things that I can expect? What might it look for me as I continue throughout my own journey? I loved it. There are some people who get monetized very quickly. And then there are people who are like me where that's not my story. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of a background because I think that is always so important to know where a person has come from, like what is their story of getting to monetization or getting to growth, whatever the case may be. So I'm going to share my background. I'm going to go into my analytics, let you know how much I got paid, all that good stuff. But then I'm also going to share with you some tips and answer some questions that you guys gave me for those of you who are trying to grow as well. I uploaded my first video on March 20th of 2022. We are coming up on my 2-year YouTube anniversary, so woohoo! If you are looking at what my channel is right now, do know that the growth that is happening now is a result of a lot of hard days, a lot of times being super frustrated and feeling really discouraged that things just weren't moving. And while it's been so much fun, the journey has not been easy. I have no YouTube background. I have no training in like photography or editing or any of this stuff. All of my training, all of my knowledge is in education. I was a teacher. Now I'm a professor at a university and like my PhD is in that. That is what I do. But I had this strong desire a couple of years ago to start a YouTube channel and I have learned along the way. I am also not one of those people who was looking at YouTube when it started around, what was that, 2005, 2008? I don't remember the exact date. But when YouTube started, I didn't fully get it. In fact, I didn't get into watching YouTube for pleasure until about 2018. And I saw people that I liked and I watched them and it was fun. I admired what they did, but I didn't have any desire to start my own channel until actually January of 2022. And then I started my channel in March of 2022. And in my head, I was like,
oh, I'm gonna start a channel. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna grow, yada, yada, yada.
And then none of that happened. I started the channel, but whew, I had no clue that it was going to take so long. I thought that by the end of the year, like I was going to roll up into 2023, having built this very successful channel. Like your girl was super delusional, but it worked in my favor because I was just so committed to the process. And I knew that this was something that I needed to be doing. So after I uploaded that first video, I continued. And then around June, July, I had a couple of videos that did pretty well for me at the time, but I was so excited. I felt so lucky if I had a video hit 100 views like in the first couple of days because it was just so hard to get views. It was so hard to grow subscribers. If I got more than 100 views on a video, like your girl was killing the game. I hardly ever got any comments. If I got 1 to 2 comments, I felt like I was being lucky, but for the most part, I wasn't getting any like traction, any comments. And for a while, it was really discouraging and really disheartening, feeling like I'm putting in all of this work, I'm putting in all of this effort, and I'm not really seeing that it's making an impact. I'm not saying anything. So if you are in that space, I feel you, and I am going to share with you a few tips a little bit later. At the end of 2023, so at the end of this past year, I did a series that actually started to pick up some consistent traction. And from there, at the beginning of this year, I had a couple of videos that just really popped off pretty immediately. And that is where my channel has started to just kind of snowball into this growth. It was those videos that helped me to finally get monetized. As these videos started to pop off, I actually got approved for monetization on February 1st of 2024, so of this year. So that means it took me nearly 2 years to meet the qualifications to be monetized. Now, if you don't know what those qualifications are, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and either 4,000 watch hours in a 365-day period or 10 million views on shorts in a 90-day period. And then for payment, you have to make at least $100 before they pay you. There are some lesser monetization thresholds like 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, and I believe 3 million views on shorts, something like that. But that is not monetization that counts toward AdSense, which is what most people think, or most YouTubers think, when you're thinking about wanting to be monetized on YouTube. I won't go into the whole process of setting up AdSense and all of that good stuff, because I really do think that the thing that I find most enjoyable about these videos is really hearing what the process is and how much that person got paid, but then also what any tips or advice it is that they have to share about that. So that's what I'm going to do, but I am happy to link some down below if you are interested in all of those back-end processes as well. I hit my first 1,000 subscribers in March of 2023, which was a few days before my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. But even though I had hit the 1,000 subscribers, I was so far behind with the watch hours that were needed. Trying to get the 4,000 watch hours, that was the thing that I felt like was hurting me the most, because most of my videos have always been around 10 minutes long. And if people are not watching the whole way through and you're also not getting a lot of views, then it just takes a really long time to get those watch hours. I mentioned that I had a couple of videos that did really pretty well for me in June and July of 2022. Those got me right around 800-900 watch hours, but July 2023 came around, I ended up losing all of those hours because I didn't have any other videos that were doing super well, and I had no clue when it was going to happen, when some other videos would started to actually get some traction for me. So when I saw myself lose all of those hours, I'm pretty sure I cried a little bit, because I was like, it took so long to be able to get that. What am I gonna do now? Y'all, seriously. I did. I was so sad.
I know. I had to hear about it.
And even though that felt like such a huge blow, I just kept creating. I kept showing up. I kept doing what I thought that I was supposed to do. I kept learning. I kept putting in the work. And then when we hit 2024, I posted a couple of videos, video about all of the things that I had learned from decluttering, and then also the mindset to just show up that has helped me to be able to change my life. And both of those videos just started to do really well right out the gate. Before I posted that, I had 329 videos on my channel, and some of those were long form videos. I think it was like 92 of those were long form videos, and the rest of them were all shorts. I implemented shorts into my strategy probably somewhere around 2022. I am really thankful that I implemented shorts. It did not grow or go super viral, but it really did help me as a creator to stay consistent and to learn how to edit pretty quickly. As you can see, there was nothing was really happening until the end of last year. Some of the earlier spikes that you are seeing are from shorts. They're from the video that did, or a couple of videos that did pretty well in June and July of 2022. But for the most part, it was pretty flatlined until the end of the year. And now there is this big, huge spike that you are starting to see. So I mentioned that I did not get monetized until February 1st of this year. As those two bigger videos started to pop off, a lot of those views were happening in January. So I didn't know if things would start trailing off and if I would actually, like how much I would actually get paid, because so many of these views were happening as these videos were being posted in January. But February kept going, these videos still kept getting views. I posted new videos that were still getting views, and my channel was really taking off. And on my first day monetized, I actually got paid $51.18. Throughout February, my lowest earning day, I earned $25.92. And then my highest earning day, I earned $116.29. So now the grand total, the thing that you guys have been waiting for, how much did I get paid my first month on YouTube? Actually, my first paycheck was $1,850.49. Like, what? I could not believe it. I know that this is a pretty high amount to get paid your first month on YouTube, but it was less about the pay and more about the fact that, wow, I am actually getting dollars and cents for something that I have been doing for free, which just, it really blew my mind. And so thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for enjoying. Thank you for subscribing. Literally, thank you for all of it. I honestly just don't have any words. It's crazy exciting. And like I said, I know that this number is probably unexpectedly high. It was for me. And there's so many different factors that can lead to that. Typically, from what I have heard, it really just depends on a lot of different variables, what countries viewers are watching from. It depends on the ages of viewers, all sorts of things that really play a factor into how much you earn on YouTube. For the most part, my viewers are somewhere between 25 and 55 years of age. I have a little bit of a more established audience of people who are like a bit more settled, are probably buying things more. And most of my viewers are people who are watching from the United States, also watching from the UK. And so that's just kind of where it is with mine. But I am by no means an anomaly. There are people who have gotten paid, yes, less than I have in their first month, but there are also people who have gotten paid way more. Again, it is really all over the place. So now what I want to do is I want to pivot just a little bit to giving you some tips and answer some questions that you guys have asked me and really share what it is that I have learned. That is the goal of my channel, really, is to share with other people the knowledge that I have gained based on my own experiences, based on the things that I have been through, based on the things that I am going through, and to just be a blessing to others through the things that I've been through. Can you grow a successful channel in 2024? Yes, you can see it's happening, but how do you grow on YouTube in 2024 and have and start a successful channel? What does it take? What does that look like? I am no expert by any means. I am still growing, but these are the things that I have seen working for me. The first thing is to just start. You can't grow if you don't start. That really plays into the video that I did about showing up. You just have to do something. You have to start, you have to show up. There is never going to be this perfect time or opportunity to be able to start. The opportunity is now. Do it. Yes, it is likely that there is going to be a big learning curve. It is likely that there will be times that your videos flop and you feel embarrassed because you've told everybody in your circle that you were doing YouTube videos. You are going to get some things wrong, but just start. One of you asked me in the comments about what equipment is necessary. You do not need any fancy equipment to start. I actually record on my iPhone, and it's not even the greatest or newest iPhone. I have like an iPhone 13 Pro, not even a Pro Max that has even the better quality camera, though I plan on getting that. But I've been recording on my iPhone 13 Pro. I got a tripod that was like $20 off of Amazon. For the most part, I use natural lighting. I do have an LED light that was probably like $30 that I got off Amazon, but that's only when I absolutely have to record in a dark room. I've bought microphones, but I don't actually use them because the iPhone actually has some pretty good quality audio within that's built into the system. I am talking about this like I know anything about the inner workings of phones and equipment. Either way, all I know is that it has a pretty good microphone. I hear it, nobody's complained about it. So that is what I use. I did splurge on some editing software at the end of 2022, like December of 2022. But that was just because I wanted it. I use Final Cut Pro for editing. It was my treat to myself for being very consistent and realizing that, okay, this is not just a fly-by-night thing. This is something that I am going to do. So I splurged on some fancy editing software. But before that, I have a Mac, so I was using iMovie. I was using that, and that was fine. Don't put all of these barriers in place for why it is that you can't start, because you don't need a lot of fancy stuff to be able to start and to record high quality content. Oh, and for my thumbnails, I actually just use PowerPoint, which I already have on my computer, and I use free picture editing software so that I can just brighten up the picture a little bit more. I got a question about how I learned to edit. That was some trial and error, because editing was the bane of my existence for the longest time, and it took so long. But I have gotten to where I can do it pretty efficiently now. If you want a whole video on how I edit my videos, then please let me know. If I get enough comments, then I will make a whole video about that. My next tip is to evaluate your journey relative to yourself and not where others are. Basically, don't compare yourself to anybody else. The thing is, you never fully know what someone else's journey has been on YouTube. Me not having any level of a YouTube background, I can't compare myself to someone and say, oh, because I am smart and because I am pretty technologically savvy, then I should be growing just as fast as this, I don't know, 23-year-old who has been dreaming about doing YouTube her whole life and is growing really fast. Like, I can't do that. That is not fair to myself. That's not fair to my own journey. You just never know what another person's story is. You may have somebody who has taken editing classes, and so they feel really good with lots of different editing software. You may have somebody who has taken journalism classes or who does a lot of presentations, so they feel super confident already in front of the camera. There might be people who have been practicing at this for years, and then all of a sudden something just happens and something just blows up. There may be people who had an old channel that wasn't doing really well, but they learned the things from that channel, started a new channel, and that one took off pretty quickly. These are stories that I have heard from lots of different creators that I have watched as they have grown on YouTube. And you really have to just look at, what is my journey? What is my level of experience? What are the things that I'm doing? What am I pouring into my channel? Am I being consistent every week? Am I trying to make sure that I am learning and getting 1% better each time I upload a video? What are the things that I am doing? And if you see yourself starting to grow, then just celebrate that, because it's hard. It is hard to grow. So baby, celebrate yourself. Celebrate those small wins, celebrate those victories, and be nice to yourself, but also push yourself to see where it is that you can take your content to take yourself to the next level. I think the other thing that I want to add to that is that if you have been creating for a while and you're not seeing yourself move as much as you want to do, look at your back-end analytics. The analytics in YouTube are amazing, and they really can be a rabbit hole that you can just dive into. I have to admit, I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with analytics, because my brain is an analytical brain and I like to look at numbers. I like to know data. But if you're not careful, it can be just this thing of comparison and beating yourself up. Don't use it for that reason. But I do say, look at it and be aware of what is happening. Your analytics will tell you, what are the videos that are performing? What are the places in a video where people drop off? Do people actually like your hook that first 30 seconds? Are people staying even at the very beginning of your video, or are they falling off 15 seconds in? See if your content as a whole seems to make sense, seems to go together. I am not a particular advocate of niching per se, but I do feel like you have to have some topics and you have to have some themes that actually relate to one another, because if you have a video pop off and that is the only video that you have on that topic, then you won't get viewers to really stick around. So just look at, actually study your channel to see what is happening within it and what are some areas where you're doing really well and what are some areas where you want to grow. We all know that it is super important to be consistent, but what does that mean and why is that necessary? One, it's for us. It really helps us to be comfortable just showing up every single time we press record for a YouTube video. It helps us to be in the mode, be in that zone of creating, to be in the zone of editing, and to get better with it every single time. But also it helps our audience, because as we are trying to grow a community, they look forward to seeing what it is that we are creating. And when we're newer to it and not one of those like massively big creators, then you don't always stay at the front of people's minds if you're not consistent. I also got a question about how do I balance being consistent while also maintaining the quality of my videos. And the thing is, you have to be committed to it. Like, I didn't give myself an out for it. Once I decided that I was going to start a YouTube channel, that was it. Like, I am a plan A type of girl. That's just who I am in life. And so once I decide to do something, it's not I'm going to do something until this thing happens. No, it was I'm going to do it and it's going to be successful. And I was hoping that it would happen a lot more quickly than it did. But even though it didn't, I was still committed. It was like, this is what I've decided to do. This is what I really have believed God had put in my heart to do. So it's like, this is what's happening. I'm going to do it. Commitment to it is the first thing. Then learning editing. The thing is, you only learn editing by practicing it. And so put in that time with practicing. I mentioned that I implemented shorts as a strategy, and that was something that really helped me with editing because I was having to do it pretty quickly. I would record a full little video and then I would edit it, and it would take me about an hour to be able to do it and then put it up. And I was doing it on such a regular basis that it helped me to get a lot more efficient with my editing. I also outline and script all of my videos so that I can have a place to go. If I don't, then I will be talking all over the place, and don't nobody want that. So I script and I outline all of my videos so that we can have a clear direction of where we are going with this conversation. Set boundaries around your time. Oh my goodness, that was the hugest thing for me. So in October, actually it was in September, when I posted about how I was going to do this 30-day throwaway to start getting my decluttering journey started, I told myself, I was like, I am going to record this video. I am going to sit down and I am not going to get up from this one spot until this video is recorded. Because what was happening before was that it would take me like 4 or 5 hours to record a video because I was just overthinking it. And if I had to force myself to sit down, then I was just going to talk and it was going to be done. There was that. Also, when I started my 7-week reset series that I started at the end of November, I realized that I could edit a video in 4 hours when my feet were put to the fire. So that was the standard by which I started doing things. I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna record this video, and I am not gonna press stop until it's done. And then I am not going to spend longer than 4 hours editing, because at that time I was uploading twice a week. I still have a school schedule. I still have things that I'm doing with my church. I still have a life that I have to live. And I just did not have time to spend hours and hours and hours editing and recording and all of that stuff. Someone else asked, how do I come up with video ideas? I talk about what I know. I talk about my life experience. I talk about the things that I know about, but also I work to be very in tune with my audience because I'm looking at my analytics, because I know the people that I'm targeting, because I know that mostly I am talking to women. Here are the things that we're thinking about. There would be times where I would be spending all this time researching and I was like, I don't have time for this. I want to connect with people. My goal is to be able to connect with people. And yes, some research is necessary, but I think you build a bigger connection when you come from a place of, this is what I've been through. This is what I am going through. This is my lived experience. That I am an expert in being myself. So that is what I'm sharing. And then some other quick tips: balance real with aesthetic. Be your real, genuine self. But if your house is a mess, don't show all that. People do not want to see that. Like, it gets very distracting for viewers. Find a little spot of your home that you can keep clean so that you can have a place to be able to record. I would also say research your space. So if you are a lifestyle creator, or if you want to document your fitness and weight loss journey, if you want to talk about finances, whatever the thing is, make sure that you are so familiar with your space. You need to see what other people are doing in that area, and you need to figure out where is the gap and where are you filling a hole that people need. Know what their thumbnails look like, know what their videos kind of sound like, know what that energy is that they are giving off of people who are doing really well in that space, but not just looking at what's going well, look also at what's not happening so well in that space. What are they doing? What are their thumbnails looking like? Why? Really critically analyzing why is that not working for that creator, and find where you fit in all of this. And then my other biggest tip is to just be authentically you. Take the pressure off of yourself. When I took the pressure off of myself, that was when I started growing. While I was in this space of not making this be a sustainable thing for me, I wasn't seeing a lot of traction. And I think I was putting out this energy of I wasn't feeling confident, I was feeling nervous, I was this, I was that, because that is exactly how I was feeling inside. But when you just show up as who it is that you are, don't worry about what people are gonna say, because they're gonna talk or they're not gonna talk. It doesn't really matter. You're not doing this for the people who are not for you. You are doing this for the people who are going to be helped by your content. And so they can't be helped by you if you aren't showing up as you. So that would be my final encouragement to you. That is, I am still preaching to myself with that. Take the pressure off of yourself. It does not have to be perfect. Show up as you. Show up as the best version of you that you can. Put out the highest quality content that you can with the resource that you have, and just go for it. Just do the dang thing. So that is where we are. That is how I've started growing. That is how much I got paid my first month on YouTube. So I hope this video encouraged you. And if you are starting your own channel, again, just do it. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Also, if you are not subscribed, what are you doing? I'm gonna need you to jump on that. Alrighty guys, I love you, and until next time, bye for now.